Good morning. Good morning. Yes. The war is over. The war is over for me because it's like I'm looking at Facebook and everyone's writing their stuff, and I don't have any desire to go and try to convert. Now, I will share like my perspective on stuff that doesn't have the purpose of trying to convert or tell someone that they're wrong. It's more of I share just who I am, my humor, my thoughts on, I don't know. It's a different sharing. It's like I'm not really reacting because there really is no, I don't know. It's one of those things where I just don't have that emotional visceral reaction. Like the triggers have gone. Okay? And so it's like it is like a piece. It is like a piece. Um, what's it like being at peace? Well, it's trippy because it's like I don't really have any. I don't. It's like I don't know. It's so hard to explain. I wake up every day. I go do my thing. I have to have these goals because if you don't have goals, here's the thing. If I don't have goals, any kind of type of goals, then it would be easy to fall into the emotional grabbing stuff. And when a person wins a war within, there is no war out there. And that's one of the things that you're going to see, when you're doing the J juice, you are going to be grappling with your own war within that's going to be projected out there. And so it's hard to really explain where I'm coming from to those that are still fighting the war, because I'll tell you what, a couple months ago, back, let's say in October, November, December, when I was discovering that I was that I was contributing to the major Marxist Communist Party in San Francisco, and I didn't know it, and I was dating somebody high up in there, and I finally realized it, and I was shocked as hell at what I was a part of. I was totally going for Trump, which, yeah, I mean, he's my president, but even picking a political party, even picking a political candidate is a declaration of war. It really is. Because you're picking a side, an ideology, a perception that other people may have, yes, a great perception around, and then other people are like, oh my God, you're this, you're that. And then no matter what, anytime you pick a side, no matter what it is, I don't care what it is. And it's built into our society, the justice system, it's built into the voting system, it's built into everything to where you have to pick a side. You are automatically declaring war on somebody. No matter what. I don't care if you say all lives matter or blue lives matter. You are declaring war on somebody. And so the only way that you can actually have peace in your world is if you actually win the war within. Because the declarations of war out there are people's projections of their own wars within their body, mind, and spirit. Because they are aging and degrading. They have cancer, disease, and chronic illness. They have other types of traumas that have not been resolved. And then we get caught up in somebody else's war. And so I think that's why innately when I was making comments to those that were going out there and protesting that weren't, part of that culture, why I had a hard time with that, because it wasn't their war. And so, but I knew innately, but I didn't know how to explain it because I was still coming from imbalances. I was still coming from trauma. Okay? And trauma is fear, it's false expectations appearing real. Trauma is when you are reading about the worst things that could happen, which, yeah, I mean, I've read so much stuff on the internet of what the worst thing could happen, and And when this culture and this, political ideology becomes in control, it's going to turn into this, 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 and this. And oh my God, we're going to have this. And yeah, we're seeing some of the realities of a dystopian culture. But remember, like any evolution, there's going to be a major upset of homeostasis when there's so much healing that has to be done. And so, so I have taken myself out of the war. There's no way I can win any war of perception out there, whether it's perception of salt, whether it's perception of left wing, right wing, of middle wing, whatever. I don't care what it is. There's no way anyone's going to win a war of perceptions. It is a personal journey, and it's something that you have access to with the Jilly Juice. It really is. And that's all I can say. There really isn't anything else to say. Because no matter what, even doing the Jilly Juice and people are still subscribing to their belief systems, it's like even talking to, to the people that are still, they're doing Jilly Juice and still taking part in all these wars, I can't change their minds. It's a personal journey. They're going to have to go peel back the layers of their own trauma on their own. It's not something that I can legislate. It's not something that I could beat into. It's not something that I could do anything to. It's a personal journey. And so the way I can exemplify it is that I just do what I do. Okay? But remember, people who are sick will rationalize all of their reactions, all of their choices. When there's still trauma, when there's still unresolved issues, the rationalizing of behaviors is I'll tell you what, I'm very artistic. If you want to watch how I've behaved the last 4 years going through my healing process, and every single thing that comes out of my mouth, I rationalized everything. But it made sense to me, and it made sense to a certain segment of the population. Did it make sense to everybody the way I rationalized my belief systems? No, I've offended a lot of people. Of course you're gonna, because anytime you take a side, anytime you take a position, you're gonna offend somebody. You're declaring war on them in some way, shape, or form. Even me saying that, me subscribing to the Republican Party is more of a Jilly Juice type, because it is it is in a way, but we also know community is also part of it. You can't be just strictly independent with nothing by yourself, because you still need infrastructure. You still need a centralized body to make sure that all of your infrastructure is intact, so you can still move around freely in our society. So yeah, there's no way to be totally 100%, to the right or to the left. To the left, where you have so many people in your business that nobody's taking care of themselves because they're too busy worried about somebody else. That's way to the left, where everyone's all collectively in each other's business. And all to the right, they're saying that they're independent, but in reality, it's really socialist/conservative. Okay, but no matter what, I still rationalized it. But not saying that I was wrong, but that's where I was coming from at the time. And so even when I was on Dr. Phil, I rationalized my belief system regarding what reproduction was and what was the right sex and all that stuff. There is nothing right or wrong. It's just evolution. Okay, everyone's at different levels of evolution. Where we end up, it doesn't even matter. We're still evolving. But here's a specific measurable result, so we understand how to measure our success with aligning our body, mind, and spirit. Have you reversed all of your cancer, disease, and chronic illness? Are you still coming from love, 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 and hate, 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 and all that stuff? Because yes, even then yesterday I was talking about how, love and killing someone with kindness. That is a very true term, killing someone with kindness. Okay? I've had people kill me with kindness because they're trying to make me wrong for attacking their hormones, which is the love hormone, when they're like, oh, I'm all about love and peace. And I'm like, dude, love is all about manipulation and control. It's not. It really is about respect. It's not about love or hate. It's about respect. That's the foundation of any relationship, is respect. And then I got killed with kindness. But they didn't kill me. I'm just like, I let it go, because I understand where they're coming from. And that's fine, we part ways. But understand that when you kill someone with kindness, it is a manipulation. And so simply no reaction to anything that's up. So when you have a trigger, when you read something and you're triggered and now you want to react and defend and justify, you know exactly you have an unresolved issue. You are dealing with a war within, that you are pulling somebody into your issues. Okay? And so sometimes when I read someone's post and I want to react, I'm like, you know what? What's the point? Because remember, any war takes two people. You can't have a war with one person. It takes two people. If a person has to have a war with himself, that's fine. And I, every month when I have my stupid period, which right now it's like the war that happens for me is once a month. And I don't have PMDD anymore. Now I get all my stupid hormonal crap the day of, like the day before and the day of, maybe the day after. Not so much the day after. Okay? And so right now at this point, I'm giving up the notion that I'm going to stop my period because I'm so well. Because at this point right now, the society is so aggressive that my body has to have some kind of backup because it just can't trust the environment with the amount of crap that's going on out there. There's no way my body's gonna be like, yeah, we're not gonna give you an insurance policy, of course. Okay, so that's the only wars that I'm fighting. It's just my own biochemistry when I have my period. That's it. There is no other war out there. I have no beef with anyone or anything. I don't care what happens to, the Giesling, Maxwell, Epstein stuff. That's not my fight. That's Virginia Giuffre, whatever her name is, fight. But I have absolutely, I don't care. Okay, if someone were to actually, harm me, physically, then yeah, I will enter into a war, and that would be my war, but it'd be nobody else's war but my own. And then, the whole justice system, everyone's like, oh, we gotta get justice. Well, there's gonna be no amount of justice that's gonna be good enough for anyone that has major trauma. So even though the justice system says this is fair based upon this and based upon who knows what, and it's still not satisfactory to some people. The justice system will never ever be fair to everybody because it's all based on perception. So it's like you got to fight the war within and win the war within to understand that you don't have to be fighting wars out there that you have no business being in. And so, I know that both the Democrats and Republicans and even the communists, okay, so what's my fear of the communists? That they're going to kill a bunch of people. Well, I mean, it has happened in history, but we also have laws in our land, okay? We have laws in our land, and we have the right to defend ourselves, okay? So no matter what, if it's communist, if it's right wing, like alternative right wing, or even middle ground, there's still, everyone wants to live. And so you still abide by the laws of your land, and you know that the guy over there who's left wing or right wing still wants to live. He believes in life. Now we just stay out of each other's business. I don't care how you manifest a war within. Just don't manifest it on me. Just leave me alone. Mind your own business. Stay out of my business. I'll stay out of your business. I don't care what you do as long as you abide by the law. But even then, I'm not going to go and look and make sure you're abiding by the law. I mean, if somebody sees something, you see something right in front of your eyes, then obviously you say something. But if you don't see it, then don't say something. Don't try to look for something. But there's vigilantes out there that want to go and trap people. And then they wonder why then people end up dying because they're going in and not minding their business. Now, I mean, I know that people want to help those that are unfortunate, but we do have a legal system, a police force, a task force that does these sting operations. And they're trained to deal with people who have criminal minds. It's not up to a lay person to go and try to be then this hero, okay? So this is where minding your own business and working on yourself will lead to peace. And then we have specific agencies that will take care of those that don't. And so, I don't know. It's just, I get it. Okay? Every person is responsible for their own body, mind, and spirit. Yeah, it sucks to know that there is human trafficking out there, but you can't stop it because every single person who has a child must be aware of what's going on in their child's world. And yes, we know that, parents are so busy, they have 2 or 3 jobs. The kids are given a laptop. The laptop is giving them access to social media, and then there's so many predators out there. How do you stop a child from becoming a victim? Well, it's all about education, open lines of communication, and a healthy relationship, which we know most relationships out there are not healthy relationships. So it stands to reason why we still have human trafficking, because we have parents who, not that they don't give a shit, but they're just so busy and so distracted by so many other things that their kids are doing their own thing. Okay? And so, so I know exactly what I am, what my power is. And my power is I can't control even the person next door. I can't even control like my husband. So what makes you think I can control somebody else out there who could be happy, who could be committing crimes? Will I purposely go after the fire and chase fire? No. There are people that are paid to chase fires. There are people that are paid to put out fires. There are people paid to go and do investigations to really make sure that the person is breaking the law. That's why we have a justice system, okay? As imperfect as it is. And so, so wars are happening when people have a war within, and then they project it out, and then they go and chase fires. They don't go and take care of their own fires. They go and chase other people's fires. They go and be like, oh, I'm gonna defend the rights of you. I'm gonna defend the right of you and defend the right of you and take on this cause that I have no business taking on, but I'm gonna do it because I have nothing else going on. Well, you do have a lot going on within your body, mind, and spirit, but you're not facing your own demons. Okay, so that's why I think you saw me going through many months of going like, oh my God, I'm done with the anti-vax movement. I'm done with the chemtrails movement. I'm done with all the activist stuff. These are not my battles. The elements can be balanced out correctly with the right chemistry. A body has the ability to adapt. I watched a movie yesterday on Netflix, and I forget the name of it, but it had who did it have in there? I forget the people who were in there, but the whole point was they were creating an alien type of being in a lab that was able to evolve very quickly. Like they could watch the life cycle of this alien being that they've created in the lab, and it came out of control. But they were able to kind of corral it for a minute, but it turned into a girl who was like part alien, and they watched it grow, and then it also was able to evolve to where it can grow wings and all of that, and they were watching the evolution that quickly. Okay, so we have the ability to evolve. We have the ability to really, I don't know, work on ourselves to be able to handle all the environments. Okay, and so that's just the beauty of the jelly juice, and that's the beauty of knowing that the wars are not something that somebody else is doing. Okay, the war is everybody has a participation in the wars that are out there. So if you still are dealing with cancer, disease, and chronic illness, you are contributing to the war. So those that hate the military, those that want to hurt our veterans and be disgruntled at our veterans, they're fighting your wars. These are your personal wars that somebody else is fighting. They have to, because there are people who are so misaligned in body, mind, and spirit that they're hurting other people, and we have to defend ourselves. Okay, but what if everyone fought and won their own wars within? There wouldn't be any wars out there because they would have won the war in here. And that is the jelly juice, is fighting your own battles. It's fighting your own battles and winning them. And the specific measurable result is now you have no dog in any fight. You've taken yourself out of the war, and you don't react anymore to somebody else's aggressive behavior. Because the way to have a war, it takes two people to have a war. Two people. It takes one person to end the war. One person to end the war. And it happens on an exponential basis. Oh, but they're doing all these human rights stuff. Well, that those people that are being abused by their government, they have to find a way to figure out how to defend themselves. They're going to have to figure out, and I don't have an answer, especially when, well, here's the thing. A government cannot work without its people. A government cannot work without their people. So what is it that is causing a government to come down and kill the people? Well, they shouldn't kill anyone for anything. And there are some less tolerant governments out there that don't like different religions. Like, yes, there is in China, the Falun Gong and Christianity and Jehovah's Witnesses that are persecuted in China. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's blasphemy. I mean, the Chinese religion is like, what is it, Confucianism or something like that? Confucius? They don't tolerate Christianity, Jehovah's Witness, or anything else. So if you know that if you practice Falun Gong, mysticism, and all these different other religions, other than Confucius or whatever is the Communist Party religion, then you know exactly what you're risking. Okay? And if your religion means that much to you, then this is where people then have to be very resourceful in how they escape their country to go somewhere else. Now, you can try to change your government to make it more acceptable to accept Falun Gong, but I mean, Chinese military has a lot of firepower. I wouldn't necessarily go up against the Chinese military. But then I'm not really partial to any religion. I'm more like, hey, life, promote life. Mind your own business, promote life. Don't try to convert other people into whatever. Let them figure it out. You know, do your job, whatever it is, make your money, pay your bills, abide by the law, and live. Don't hurt others, and live. That's it. But I think what some governments don't like is the whole conversion process. When some people are trying to pound their religion and their belief system into somebody else. The proselytation, you know, when you're going into, these Christians are going into these remote communities and they're going and trying to share the word of God, which, okay, I understand that is your right, but it can be very offensive to peoples that are in power in that area. And what is your intent? Now, of course, if somebody's being enslaved, you free people who are enslaved, you free them. I mean, if they're being chained up in what happened way back in the 1600s, yeah, that's why there's battles out there right now, because people have not acknowledged that some people have had really bad cards that were dealt to them. And I get it. But we have to move on. It's not happening. I mean, it is happening now because there are some people that they're not keeping track of their children. I mean, we have people who do that in their own homes here in Ohio. They have put people captive and are harming people. And then we have task forces that stop it. Okay, so it happens every single day, but it takes a relatively functional society to have those agencies stop those human rights violations. But then everyone has their place. We have to have a certain kind of process to deal with this. You got to have training to deal with this. Okay, and so we can't reinvent the wheel. And this is what I'm saying is that we already have laws in place. Now there's going to be changes, yes, in how we go about doing stuff, because the COVID-19 is definitely changing everything. Okay, but your freedoms are still not being pounded on, because you're still able to go outside. If you have to wear a mask to go in a building, fine, do what you got to do, and then go out and whatever, and get in your car and go home, and you don't have to wear a mask. But I mean, if you're gonna go to places where you have to be around a lot of people, if that's a requirement, do it, and then don't fight it, don't resist it, and then go home. But if you're in a job where you have to wear a mask, well, then if you don't like the fact that you're doing that, and yeah, I went to an ice cream shop yesterday and had a nice little strawberry shortcake ice cream, and yeah, all the kids were wearing masks, and that and that's going to be the requirement for a lot of jobs. So now maybe it's more for, now we should be promoting entrepreneurship, online businesses. But that's kind of where everything is going. Everyone's doing things online. I've been doing things online for the last 4 years. I've been doing it ever since, actually, when I was in the insurance business, when I stopped trying to be a personal agent, and then I was just a cold caller, getting leads and getting on the phone and just talking to people all day long. Okay, then I go on to Facebook Lives and all of that, and then write a book, and then I don't know. So that's where the world's going. Okay, and you have to be able to adapt. Yes, there's going to be people that are victimizing each other, but you can't save everybody. But you can save yourself, and you can save your family if you give them half a chance. But if you're putting if you're putting all your energy in somebody else's business and wondering, oh, are they going to get arrested? Are they going to get this, put in jail? Who cares? They do or do not. It's not going to matter. It's not going to make a difference in your life. What's going to make a difference is you do the J juice, win the war within, and then there's no wars out there. Oh, but all this stuff is going on. It's none of your business. Let the law and let the government handle those that are actually committing crimes. If you see something, say something, and that's it, if you choose to do that. And some people don't even want to do that because they don't want to be implicated or have to then go and testify and then be a target for somebody else. So again, you want to mind your own business. Make sure you're not a victim. Make sure that your kids are not victims. Make sure that your husband, your wife, and your friends are not victims to any type of predator out there. And it's up to the parents over there to make sure that their kids are safe. And some parents sell their kids into slavery, and that's unfortunate. That sucks. But this is where we got to put things in perspective, because the war is it's going on. It happened last night. There was riots last night. There's a lot of wars going on last night. I mean, shit. Last night I was hearing the freaking firecrackers going off left and right. Oh my God, it was relentless. I'm like, Jesus. It was a bit crazy. But then it was done with. People need to get out there, whatever it is, and then it was done with. Okay? So, when you're on the J juice, just think of all, when you're on the J juice and you're done playing with the conspiracy world, playing with all of the, oh yeah, we need to save the world out there. When you're done saving the world out there for a minute, now it's time to save yourself. Now it's time to figure out your own goals. Figure out what you want to achieve, because I'm telling you what, if you're going to be conquering and reversing your cancer, disease, and chronic illness, you're not going to be up on all these, doing these, really fast, slam bam, thank you ma'am type of jobs. You're going to figure out what is your purpose now here on this earth, because you're going to be on this earth for a while. Yeah, you'll be going through all of your healing process because you have a lot to reverse. But what is your purpose on this earth? And there's going to be things that you're going to want to achieve. There's going to be goals and fears that you're going to want to conquer, and there's going to be things that you want to achieve. And then the whole world's going to open up for you, because they're always going to be there. There's 7 billion people procreating. We're not going to reach everybody right now. It's going to take some time, which means you still have 7 billion people that you can figure out how to cater to without harming them. With your pills, powder supplements, detoxes, herbs, extracts. You don't need, that's not even a need in our society. But what can you do to contribute to society to make it better that isn't contributing to the destruction of somebody's body, mind, and spirit? But I understand it's a very easy go-to, because there's so many people that have so much life to them that they will keep giving you their minerals until there's nothing left of them anymore. So, but why not promote life instead of death? Why not promote Jilly Juice, which there really isn't any money in Jilly Juice, but you know what? You're giving somebody the opportunity to live and to expand their mind to where then maybe you might collaborate with some people who are on the Jilly Juice and something amazing. And then you can find a way to, to make a little money without having so much money, because you're still helping people help themselves, who will be constantly regenerating. Constantly. You're not going to use them up and then they're dead. You're going to be able to give them something that they can keep the gift going for not only you, but for everybody else around them. So I don't know. That's something to think about. But I'm going to go and do my thing. But I don't know. It's interesting. So now it's like I gotta write my second book, kind of rewrite a little bit, because it is about all symptoms and disease are evolution. Revolution is when you're resisting evolution. Revolution is when you're out there on the streets punching the air, taking your drugs and your alcohol and doing all your sex. That's a resistance. That's revolution. That's resisting evolution. And so Jilly Juice is about evolution, not resisting it, and facing the pain, facing the demons. And so it's been quite interesting, this journey. So it's all about the words. Words create worlds. Maybe it's time to change your words so you can create a different world. All right, bye. Have a great day. Bye.